Hello, this is Professor Polymorph. This video is a guided meditation, so the visuals are going to be pretty minimal. The intention is to help us all navigate the complexity and overwhelm of being a human during this time of intensifying global crisis and multiple overlapping collective traumas. May all who hear these words receive a taste of their own power, interconnection, and love. Depending on whether or not you like surprises, you might even want to listen to the video without actually doing the exercise on the first go-round, just to find out what you're getting into, and then, if you do want to go ahead, watch the video again, and the second time, let yourself open and flow with the magic. You might notice some overlap with the themes of my first video about the goddess Brigid, and yes, this magical exercise is very resonant with Brigid, as much of my spiritual practice is. That said, we won't be explicitly invoking Brigid, though feel free to do so yourself if you'd like.
I'm also drawing inspiration from my experiences in the reclaiming tradition of witchcraft, and specifically from some of the lessons I've learned from my powerful and talented teacher, Fio Gade Parma, who is also on YouTube and who offers some amazing online classes. Check them out here.
You might want to close your eyes as you listen so you can focus more and let your imagination roam free or blossom more fully. Of course, keeping your eyes open is totally okay too. With all of this, listen to your body and your deep knowing, and do what is right for you in the moment. You're free to ignore or modify any of the guidance I'm going to offer. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to guide you into sacred space with a sequence of 3 breaths. You may find that for you, each breath turns out to be a series of breaths. That's more than welcome. I'm going to describe the intention of the breath and then invite you into it. So with this first breath, the invitation is to remember that the air that sustains you in each moment is part of a wild gift economy, freely offered by the trees, the vines, the algae. And when you do inhale, to really receive this gift. And then when you do exhale, to remember that you are offering your own gift. To remember that what to your body is waste is vital and sustaining to the trees, to the larger body of Gaia, to the web of life. So remember the gift, and breathe in and breathe out at your own pace. With the second breath, the intention is to honor and acknowledge the land where you are and the complex tapestry of relationships there. If, like me, you are a descendant of colonists, and therefore entangled in the ongoing violence of colonialism, acknowledge this. When you do exhale, allow that to be a prayer of blessing for the indigenous peoples of the land where you live. That prayer might be something like, may the elders and descendants of the peoples of this land have everything they need to thrive, including justice, including power, including reparations. May this prayer be a small piece of energetic reparation that inspires more and greater reparations. If you know the names of the traditional peoples where you are, perhaps say them out loud. And if you don't, perhaps learn them. So remember the intention of acknowledging the land and the complex tapestries there, and breathe in and breathe out at your own pace. With this third breath, the intention is to call in the threads of spirits who love you, who have your back, who are your spirit kin. Maybe you know their names, and maybe you don't. Call in ancestors, deities, myth beings, wild ones, stars and stones, animal and plant allies. When you do exhale, offer your breath as a gift to your spirits. So remember calling in the threads of spirits who love you, and breathe in and breathe out at your own pace. Now take a moment to check in if you feel ready to continue. Maybe you feel plugged in and resourced, and maybe there's more that you want or need to do to open to sacred space, to your own power, to your own receptivity. Feel free to pause the video here until you are ready and to do whatever feels right to you to prepare to do magic. Now once you're ready, I invite you to focus your awareness on your left hand. Imagine that all the urgency you feel about the dire state of the world is gathering there, in your left palm. All the knowing you have about the multiple crises, all the ways the world is on fire, and the answering fire that rises up within you. Imagine that all your urgency, all your anxiety, all your anger and fear is this fire, bright, alive, hungry, dancing. And if there's anything stuck or unhelpful, any paralysis or self-hatred or helplessness that also comes up for you around this, allow all of that to feed the fire, to be fuel for the fire, to become the fire, to become bright aliveness. And this fire guides you, inspires you, propels you toward action, towards the sacred, urgent task that only you can accomplish, the secret mission you came into this suffering world to complete, the necessary divine gift that only you can offer. And what is that task, that mission, that gift? Allow yourself to know. Allow the fire to show you in bright, dancing forms. Give a breath of gratitude to the fire and what it has shown you. And allow the fire to recede into the background and continue to burn steadily, a candle held in your left hand. Now allow your focus to shift to your right hand. Imagine that all the love and compassion you have ever received is there in your right palm. All the flowing, open, gracious, accepting care that you have ever felt, welling up like a fountain of love. Imagine that fountain draws from an ocean of bottomless love as vast as the whole universe. Feel that watery love gushing up, splashing all over you, gentle as summer rain, mighty as a giant wave, washing across your skin, healing and refreshing and renewing you. Imagine that any stuckness, any despair, or anguish that you might feel is held and loved by this water, exactly as it is. Imagine these gentle waves of love lapping over you, singing in a great chorus. You are loved. You are accepted. You are whole. You are perfect as you are. You do not need to be anything other than what you are. You are loved no matter what. There is nothing you need to do other than to allow and accept this infinite ocean of love. Allow yourself to float in this water for as long as you need to, knowing that you can pause this video here and/or return to this place, this state of being, whenever you need. And for now, if you are ready, give a breath of gratitude to the water. Return love to the ocean of love and see what happens. And then allow the ocean to recede into the background of your awareness. And continue to just be there, present, a cup of water held in your right hand. Now I invite you to imagine that somewhere in your body is a cauldron, sturdy and deep and perfectly sized for the magic of this moment. Knowing that soon you'll use this cauldron to mix the fire and the water into a new alchemical blend. Maybe that cauldron is as big as your entire body, and maybe it is as small as your left foot. Maybe that cauldron is your pelvis, or your belly, or your heart, or your skull. Maybe that cauldron is made of bone, or muscle, or skin, or fat, or some combination of these. Take a moment to listen to your body and feel where that cauldron is for you, here and now. And feel that cauldron growing even more solid, even more sturdy, capable of holding immense tension, capable of holding mystery and paradox, and the boiling chaos of change, of death and rebirth. Take a breath and allow in blessing from the air, from the sky, and feed it to the cauldron. Take a breath and allow in blessing from the land, from this middle world, and feed it to the cauldron. Take a breath and allow in blessing from your ancestors and spirit kin, from the underworld, and feed it to the cauldron. Listen for a moment and see if there are any other offerings or blessings calling to be added to your magic, here and now. Feel that cauldron and feel the candle in your left hand and the cup of water in your right hand. Allow the candle to blossom once more into that epic fire, that bright, dancing aliveness, hungry for heroic transformation. Allow the cup to gush open, deep and mighty as the ocean, full of wild, loving acceptance for you, just as you are. Now see the fire and the water both flowing into the cauldron, twirling around each other, twisting and teasing against each other. Somehow, impossibly, miraculously, magically, the water doesn't put out the fire, and the fire doesn't boil the water, but instead, they strengthen and bolster each other, the fire growing brighter and the water growing darker, more ferocious, more alive, more wild. Feel how the cauldron holds the tension, holds the paradox, urgency and acceptance, fire and water, rage and love, fast and slow. Fire spinning, water dancing, swirling and writhing in the cauldron. Feel them moving inside of you, changing you, being changed by you. Great cosmic forces meeting within the great cosmic force that you are. And just when it seems the fire can't possibly grow any brighter or the water any darker, they begin to mix together, surging and crashing into one another, blending and dissolving into one another. The shining red of the fire and the midnight blue of the water merge and splash into another color, or many other colors. And what is that color for you? Allow the cauldron to hold this alchemical transformation as the urgency and the acceptance, the fire and the water, the bright and the dark, continue to melt into one another, gushing and bleeding and singing. Allow yourself to change as they are changing, balancing, deepening, brightening, becoming an elixir, a hybrid, a magic potion, a blessing or a spell given to you for this moment, here and now. A gift from the fire, from the water, from the cauldron. A gift for you from the worlds, and a gift from you to the worlds, both at once. Paradox and pleasure, mystery and riddle. And what might this blessing be? And what might this blessing be? And what might this blessing be? Maybe it is big or small, fast or slow, bitter or sweet. Maybe it becomes clear now, in this moment, all at once, like an island rising out of the sea. And maybe it becomes clear slowly in your dreams and in moments of spirits crying out to you from the mouths of birds, like the face of a mountain revealed bit by bit as the snow melts. Welcome in this potion, this blessing. Get to know it in this moment. Does it have a taste, a smell, a texture sensation? Is it a song, a flower, a stone, cool or warm to the touch? Whatever it is, however you know it in this moment, allow this potion to touch you, to move through your body, to bring the exact blessing and balancing and enlivening you need. This alive, intelligent potion. Maybe it wakes you up or puts you to sleep. Maybe this potion makes you more big and bold. Or maybe it gives you permission to be small and quiet like a seed. Whatever this blessing does, allow yourself to take it in just as much as you want or need in this moment. Knowing that this magic is part of you now, that you can reconnect with this potion whenever you need. I'm going to be silent in a moment to give you some time to see if there's anything else you want or need to do in this space before wrapping this process up for now. So if you feel ready, offer a breath of gratitude to this new blended blessing, this gift. Offer a breath of gratitude to the cauldron. Offer a breath of gratitude to the fire and allow it to fade away or to return to a comfortable baseline. Give a breath of gratitude to the water, allowing it to drip away or to return to a comfortable everyday level for you. Give a breath of gratitude to the air, to the trees, to the web of life. Give a breath of gratitude to the land and a breath of reparation to the peoples of the land, the ancestors and descendants of the land. And give a breath of gratitude to your own ancestors, your own spirit camp. Take a moment to make sure that you are grounded. You might want to pat down the edges of your skin or say your own name aloud. You might want to eat a snack or drink some water or move your body in a gentle way. Know that you have touched deep magic and that you may be changed. Know that you can return here either to this video or to the portals and power you have found through it. Thank you so much for going on this journey with me. Feel free to share about your experiences in the comments below. If you want to support the work of this channel and help me make more videos like this, consider joining my Patreon. Liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing this video are also great ways to support this work.